Hello, Christina's World Kitchen. I'm Christina Martinez-Williams, and I am going to make something new. This is a recipe that can be flatbread or can be pizza. It can dub as a pizza crust. You would double cook it with the pizza crust after you first make the crust, and then you add your toppings and cook that again. So you can make it in either way, but it has a special ingredient. So if you like pizza or flatbread, tell me which one you like better or which one you think you do, or you can change your mind later. But I want to know, put it in the comments, tell me where you're watching from, thumbs up, hearts, share this video, tell the world that that there's another option and it's amazing and it's really good. This is pork rinds, ground pork rinds. This is a special ingredient. I meant to get the just pork rinds and salt version, but I accidentally ordered the Italian style. So the Italian style just means that it has extra spices. I'm trying to look for the spices and salt and garlic and parsley flakes. So it has what I would probably add to some other things, but it's not the one that I wanted to get. Good evening, Patricia from Delaware or Pennsylvania. Shoot, I think I forgot, Patricia. Delaware or Pennsylvania, remind me. So we're going to make a flatbread that can dub as a pizza crust. So tell me which one you would prefer. And then this has all the spices. If you have one that is unflavored, which I have for other recipes that I wanted to share, the unflavored, you can just add your own, Pennsylvania, that's right. Okay. You can add your own garlic and oregano and basil to yours. All right, so I have a cup of shredded mozzarella cheese and 2 ounces of cream cheese, and I want to put this in the microwave for a minute. And then we're gonna mix in 2 other ingredients. Ooh, that is the cheese grinder. 2 other ingredients. And then we are going to roll our dough. This dough I'm not gonna use on a pizza crust. If you do, a pizza stone, you could, but you'll still want to use your parchment paper to do so. And we have the oven. I have the oven preheated to 375 degrees. Spices, yes, those spices, that would be the good spices to add if you just have unflavored. There's some different brands of pork rinds, ground pork rinds. So if you don't have that option, or through Amazon ground pork rinds, you can also just grab some pork rinds whose ingredients are just pork rinds and salt, and then crush them up, in a bag or in something, crush them up. Just push and crunch until they're all the way crunched up. All right, I heard it pop, so I'm taking it out earlier than a minute. So it's 45 seconds, but you can do what yours ends up doing. Whatever your microwave, keep an ear out for it. All right. Now I'm going to mix this together, my 2 cheeses. And then I'm going to add to this one beaten egg. 1 beaten egg. And then I want to get that well mixed. It's not going to completely mix in, the egg part isn't. It's going to stay kind of separated a little bit, but I want to get it at least started to mix. It's kind of staying on the middle of the spoon as well. And then I want to use a half a teaspoon of baking powder. This will help it lift a little bit. And I'm going to add that to my pork rinds because I've already measured those out. I have a cup of pork rinds, and I want to at least get it a little bit mixed into here. I probably should have just mixed it in something bigger, but so I can get all the way through. And then I'm going to mix this into my mixture here. These are my pork rinds. A cup of ground pork rinds. Now, so this is high protein, low carb. So there's more protein. My husband is not eating in the house tonight, which is the reason why I'm even trying this, because he doesn't eat pork. So if you don't eat pork, there's not really a different option for this to substitute for this one. There's not really like ground fried chicken or, but you can watch. You could use, I guess you could use almond flour. It'd be still a little bit different though. All right, so I really want to get this well combined as much as possible with the pork rinds. They're thick, they're more like thicker, whiter than almond flour is. They're not the same consistency as almond flour. You could potentially use almond flour in place, but I don't think it'll behave quite the same. Okay, it's getting more and more mixed into a dough-like consistency. I see where there's like chunks. I'm trying to push and pull them. So I'm kind of blending them into the mix. All right, it is almost there. We're almost there. This is the hardest part because it just takes extra push. This is always the hardest part whenever I make any pizza dough like this. It's the hardest part of the dough is the last mixing of the whatever you're using. Usually I use almond flour. All right, now I have 2 pieces of parchment paper and I want to make my dough underneath this. You can make it in the form of I'm going to make it into a rectangle. So let me change the angle of the camera so you can see better. So I have one that I'm going to then cover with the other one. And I'm gonna experiment a little bit with mine tonight. I'm going to make half of it like a pizza, but I don't have any pepperoni at the house right now. So I'm gonna use some of my pizza sauce, and then I'm gonna make the other half of it and with some cheese on top, with just cheese on top, and then maybe like a third, and then the other third like just like this, just flatbread, so that I can see all the different options. Try all the different options. Now, I want this to be like a 1/4 inch thick. I don't want it to be overly thin nor overly thick. So, I'm gonna go here and here. And I do want to keep in mind my baking sheet, how wide it is. I think I have in my mind a little bit how wide it is, but I also want to kind of keep track of that, and I might check in a second to make sure that it's not going to be too narrow or too wide or too long. All right. I think this is going to be good. I don't want to go too thin. I might be on some of this corners, I might be a little thin. I'll show you. The parchment paper is great because it can come off really easily. It's probably good. I think it's gonna be good. You could probably do it a little thicker if you want to, maybe. I have a big pan, so and I'm doing pretty good. It didn't use all of it, so it's as wide as it is, but it's not using, I have like 2 fingers on each side of what's left over. So I'm going to take it up and toss this one, and then now I just get to bake it. It looks really good. Yay! That's it. So I was going to think of which way I want to cut it. I'm going to either cut it like this in thirds to try the 3 different ways, or like this in thirds. It doesn't really matter. I might do it like this. And so one part is going to be for pizza crust, and then the other part's going to be with just cheese, and then the other part's just going to be just the bread. That is it. So I'm going to stick it into the oven for 10 to 12 minutes. I want it to get golden on both sides. I want it to be cooked. And that's it. Super simple. So from my house to your kitchen, global flavors and healthy plates from around the world. Bye.